Wait till you see this whole project. This is Leonidas, and the crown is from Heraldry. I got this little recipe holder from Dollar Store for half price, so I only paid $3.50. I am using the Provincial one-step, no top coat needed, no primer needed in Provincial. You have to really stir the binders from the bottom to the top with the one-step paint so that it will have that strength and bind how it should. I have noticed with the one-step paint, you do need a few more coats or either put some Salvation solution on it to give it a little bit more grip, or use a coat of the regular clay formula under it and then that on the top coat, and it's self-leveling, which is amazing for cabinets and has held up amazingly. I know because I did my doors and cabinets in my apartment and it is super strong. So I went ahead and was going to make this back cute because you pull your recipe holder over sometimes while you're cooking, and I just thought when people walk in the room or you walk around you'll see it cute. Yeah, well, you'll see at the end that all turned out crazy because of what I had to do to keep that big crown lion head on there. So I could have done this better, but I was really in a hurry to film and get this edited and put out for the new release tomorrow. And also I was just going on a vacation and it was just hard to get it all done. So it turned out so cute. So I should have hot glued my molds on first and I forgot. So then I had to dry that before the hot glue would stick. So you can do it either way. Both ways worked out good, but I wish I would have done it the other way first. Really, you can go left, right, up, down, swirls, whatever, because this paint is amazing. It looks streaky maybe, and then it self-levels and it comes back smooth as butter. So I use the Amazing Cast resin in 10-minute formula. It dries white, which I really like having the white base for a lot of the colors I put on top of it. The 24-hour resin stinks and it is clear. I've used both, but I always buy the fast cast resin. I have the link for all these products I use in this video in the description box and would love to mail them out to you. So I put this on, and you'll see when I put the crown on, I seen it on somebody else's post, that there's kind of a little part of a slit. I'll point that out on the mold in a minute, where I could have actually slipped that onto his head and had a little bit of his mane sticking out like a real crown would, but I didn't notice that until later. So you can use the air dry clay, but when I have the molds hanging over and up past the project base, the resin pour is a little bit more secure and you can move on more quickly. Okay, you got to think about this thing is going to sit, so I couldn't let that hang past the bottom like it is right now. You don't want that because it'll bump it off when it stands up. Now look at that. That fits so good together, but this project didn't work to do that. So I'm just playing around with this, looking at my composition. Again, if you have a really thick cookbook or whatever you want to use this for, those molds are pretty thick, so it might make the book fall forward. So I didn't put anything on the base. One reason I really like to use hot glue with the resin is because sometimes if you don't pour enough resin product in there, it'll be concave. And if you go to just use regular glue, it won't stick to the project. So the hot glue actually builds it up and sticks on there. Now you can't use that for outside in Oklahoma weather. It will fall off in the cold and the heat. So you kind of got to think about that. So if you do not burn yourself with hot glue during your project, you are not doing it right. Today, I touched the end of the hot glue gun as I was moving around, and I was like, dang, that's still burning, that's still burning. It was a glob actually burning and drying onto my skin. I was like, oh, okay, right here, I am just using these little fleurs. I think they were from the new release as well, the Heraldry, I think. I'm not sure because I did them all because I had to pour all of them because I was so excited about it. And that chicken is so good. He's so fat and so deep. You can put them back to back, and you could even put a little wire or something in there and stick it in the pot. They even stood up together. It was so thick. So I like how they're making some of them deeper like that. And then you can see the little unicorns over there, but I cut their little horns off and just made them horses. But I didn't use them for that, but I wanted you to see them. Okay, so here we go. We're just going here. If you don't get it on there right, just pop it off and go again. Now, you do want these pretty level, because if you're hanging them off the edge and you didn't get it on center, one will hang off further, which is what I did on here. And so, just hold your head cockeyed and squint one eye, and it is just perfect. So I just love this lion. I think of all the scriptures about the Lion of Judah and the King of Kings and all that. So that was my little theme here. And I ended up needing to finish staging this for my after shots. And I started going through my shop, and I was like, I first thought a book. Where's a book? I got to put a book in here for example. And then I was like, wait a second. I got to get a Bible. A Bible would be perfect. I did not have a Bible in the whole place. I was like, okay. Didn't have a book, didn't have a hymnal, didn't have nothing, without going back down to my old studio, because I haven't got those. I probably had one upstairs, but I wasn't going to dig up there. I'd already been up there with 5 bags up a spiral staircase to load my water softener. Ugh, so I was done with the stairs. So anyways, I went next door to the flower shop. It's right next to the weed shop. In there, okay, I'm going to redo that. No, I'm going to leave it. It's just true. Okay, so anyways, the one next to it is a flower shop. And I said, Jan, do you have a Bible? She is killing it with the Memorial Day floral all over the floor. Every time I need something from them, they've got Mother's Day or something going on. And I'm like, hey, and she goes, I do. And so she went back there and dug around in there and brought me a Bible. And so I got to use that for the staging at the end, and it turned out so pretty. So I was struggling because there wasn't nothing to grip this crown onto to hold it. So this is why I did some redneck crafting engineering on the back. I thought it did pretty good. Didn't look pretty because I could have made it prettier, but I just got to get her done. So see, if I would have stuck it through the little hole, I think that would have helped. So here's the back, and I am breaking some pops. Did you know you could cut popsicle sticks with scissors? I seen that on a video, and I was like, I would have never thought. Poor scissors will never be the same. But anyway, so I just make me a brace by hot glue and those popsicle sticks, and then it still was kind of being wonky. So then I put one going up and down instead of just horizontal like that. Worked perfect. Didn't look pretty on the back, so I wasted my paint on the back because the thing is ugly back there, but it'll work. Oh my goodness, I was loving this so much. Look at this. This is not even near complete. Now I did end up doing something on the very bottom at the very end, but you'll see I'm loving this, except look at that. Look at the back. Fell on the back, but it's okay. If you're going to buy any style of brush, this is a DIY brush formulated and made just for our paints. So you really do need to rinse it out if you're using the one-step paint, because they're so feather light, skinny that it can run them. Our DIY paint, you don't even have to rinse them out. But anyway, I love this pointy tip. I'll put the link in the bottom because it gets down in all those crevices. Now, I didn't want to run and get my mister bottle, but if you use a mister bottle while you're doing these really intricate, detailed things, it will just make that paint go down into all the crevices, and it's less work, and it really covers good. I did only have to put 2 coats on this whole entire project, but I love being able to have that little point and really digging in with that and kind of stippling and then brushing. So good. When I edit these, I am such a dork, but I have to keep showing you this. I was having so much fun. I haven't got to craft or paint or do anything fun in a minute. So I was just going nuts for this thing. I cannot wait to use it on many more things. Okay, I took a little commercial break here, and I've been wanting to paint a free-handed bubble on this frame. I had this for 15 years in my old classy studio, and I wanted it funky. So we put some transfer flowers around him and did a bubble. I think it did pretty good. Okay, anyway, so here we go. We're just gonna do the second coat on here. I think I've already put this in here once. It really did only take 2 coats. I just was like, something's not right here. And so I went ahead and used the heart right on top. I love to layer them right on top. Hello, are you thirsty? Do you need a drink? Your hair's gonna look great. All right, so now of letterpress gray that I diluted a little bit, and I'm just kind of sort of dry brushing over the top just to give it some dimension. I love grays and tans together. And later I use the golden rule wax with my finger, and I just kind of at the very end when I do the very last shot, you'll see I end up, I'm like, it's not balanced, so I end up doing more. It's so good. I love our shipwrecked wax. If you use this with a brown and an orange, you can totally make it look rusty, and I love that. And I almost did it here, and then I thought, nah, I'm just gonna kind of highlight this so I'll have like 3 colors now. And you can see where the DIY paint dried the regular clay formula. It always looks different, and so it does need to be sealed. So the wax that I'm using will seal it, but I didn't do the whole entire thing. So I do end up using a clear wax over it. He's got fire in his eyes. So I took a little pointy tip and put some gold metallic right in his pupils. I may have made him look scary. I don't know. But anyway, so now I'm doing his mane. I was only going to do the crown, and then you get started on this golden rule wax. You can't stop. I'm telling you, it goes on everything. So here's the end shot. Doesn't it look good? There's the Bible, and he's proudly holding it like, yep, I'm the Word. Thanks for watching so much. I release a new video every week, and I would love to have you comment, like, subscribe, and ask questions. I can help you out.